Ladies and gentlemen, YouTubers of all ages, we are going to fire up the Grand Champ Char Griller XD offset smoker today, and we're going to do a tri-tip. As you can see, I've got the charcoal chimney going with some Kingsford cherry briquettes. We're going to use cherry splits, probably a little bit of hickory wood as well. If you like harsher, smoky flavor in your beef, I would recommend going with some mesquite, which is actually pretty strong, or just using hickory or the wood of your choice. I'm going to be using cherry splits today, like I said. So we're going to get this thing fired up to 200, 225, season our tri-tip, and get it on there. Check it out. Alright, the star of the show. This is a tri-tip, and I got this. If you're in the Northern Illinois, USA area, I got this from Butcher on the Block in Algonquin. And when I called him and asked for him, he's like, yeah, the marbling is actually pretty good on these right now, and he wasn't lying. Check this out, guys. Beautiful marbling. It's called a tri-tip because it's got 1, 2, 3 points, or tri-tip. And on these, the grain usually runs a couple different ways. You can see the grain's running this way on here, and it kind of tapers off and changes direction. Actually, it's pretty consistent throughout on this one, actually. So we're going to cut like this, and then we kind of change direction here and go across this way. So once it's done, that's how we'll slice it up. Straight down this way till about here, and then we'll change direction, cut it up this way when we're done. It's got a nice little fat cap on it, so we're going to go ahead and trim that up a bit. We're going to season this with SPG, salt, pepper, and garlic today, and we're going to reverse sear this. So I'm going to put it on the smoker at 200, 225 degrees, bring it to an internal temperature of 125, 126, and then we're going to hit it over hot coals, sear it, get the nice crust on there, and then we're going to slice into it. Cook it to about medium rare. So when this thing's done after the sear, it should be around 130 to 135, probably on the low 130s is what I'm aiming for, like a medium rare steak. So check this out. This is going to be freaking delicious. Alright, so as you can see, we got the fat cap off, or most of it anyways. We had some silver skin that was partially removed as well. There's a little bit left, but not really too worried about it. Now, like I said, I'm going to hit this with SPG, and we're going to let this sweat out while we dump the coals on the smoker, and then we're going to get this puppy on once the temperature is at 200, 225. Alright guys, there we have it. SPG with a light binder of olive oil. Now, I went light on the seasoning because this isn't a brisket that's going to smoke for 12, 16 hours. No. This is a tri-tip that we're going to treat as a steak. It's not going to take very long. We are looking for a crust at the end, but I'm not going super heavy with the seasoning because we're not going to develop a bark like we would if we were smoking a brisket low and slow for 12, 16 hours. You can go as heavy as you want with the rub, but I went pretty light. Again, I'm treating this like a steak. I want that beef flavor, so I went light with the salt, pepper, and garlic. So let's go dump our coals and get this sucker on there. Alright, we've got our charcoal base dumped. We've got a little stick of hickory on there. And so we're just going to get this closed up. Sorry, don't know how to aim by myself. Get this closed up, get our probe turned on. I have an Inkbird. IBT 6X, it's a 6 probe thermometer. We've got one in the chamber on the grate level for cooker chamber temperature, obviously. And then we'll put a probe in the tri-tip when it goes on. Quick shout out, Jack Attack. You're the one, my nephew down in St. Louis area, Missouri, whatever, reached out, said, hey, how do I cook a tri-tip? I don't see a video on your channel. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. There is no tri-tip video on my channel. So, Jack, thanks for the motivation to make one. Get me back in the saddle. I haven't posted in a while. I haven't made a video in a while. You know, just busy with life, kid, work, stuff like that. So I'm like, why not? Let's make a tri-tip video. And yeah, so thanks for the motivation, and it's coming at you. So pay attention to this video, and you'll know how to reverse sear a tri-tip. You don't have to use SPG. You can marinate it. You can use whatever seasoning you want. You don't have to use a smoker. You can use a Weber kettle. You can use the oven and sear it in a cast iron skillet. There's many ways, more than one way to skin a cat, right? Or a tri-tip. So, yep, once this is up to temperature, we'll get it on there and we'll get to cooking. Yeah, dude. Is it cold? A little bit? Well, it's like 95 degrees out, so I bet it feels good. We're the two best friends that anyone could have, and we'll never, ever, ever, ever leave each other. Alright. Throw this on. Just like that. Easy. A little bit of trimming, a little bit of binder, a little bit of seasoning. 200 to 225 on the grate. And we'll get a probe in there, and when it's 125, we will pull it off to sear it. This is what you want to see. Almost invisible. I can't really pick it up on camera, but that smoke is barely visible. Rocking 250, which is a little high, but that's alright, it's going down. Straight wood, clean fire, cherry splits, really small ones too. So how I manage the fire is play with the vent, keep it about halfway for 225, 250 usually, and when the temperature drops down to like, you know, 195, 190, I grab a little split, just a thin little guy, you know, something just to perk up the temperature just a little bit. You don't want to use those huge splits over there because they won't catch very good or fast, and once they do, they'll really spike your temperature. So you just want to use the skinny little guys like this. Make sure they're seasoned, nice and dry. I can even cut this one down in half. Just throw it on there, let it catch, and you're good to go. That's how you maintain a nice clean fire, so you have clean smoke at a low temperature. That's how you do it right there. Alright, so yeah, I forgot to mention what time it was when I put this on. I don't know if you can see that. We're rocking at 2:32, which is, you know, perfect, whatever. I put this on at 1:30. It's currently 10 to 2, and it's already at 81 degrees. I don't know if you can see that, I'm sorry. 81 degrees Fahrenheit internal. Yeah, we're just rocking. Skinny splits, nice clean fire, barely visible smoke, and oh, little spike there. That's okay. Just kind of burp it. Once we hit that internal at 125, it's searing time. Alright y'all, it is, I don't know if you can see that, 220. We are at 117 internal. I'm really not sure if you guys can see this. It's like bright out here and I can't see the screen, blah blah blah. 117 internal. So we're going to fire up the chimney in the Weber kettle here, and that's where we're going to sear it. Again, got some briquettes in there, some tumbleweeds in my chimney. We're going to get those going, dump them, and then once that's 125, like I said, we're going to pull it off directly over here to sear it. I'm probably going to sear it 1 minute per side, and then we're going to let it rest. Alright, as if almost on cue, we are at 127 internal, a little high, that's alright. We're letting those cherry splits catch on that charcoal. Once that dies down a bit, we're going to get on there and get a good sear going. Alright guys, bear with me. Filming with one hand, searing with the other. No tongs necessary. Got my cotton glove liner on with a nitrile glove on top. This thing is looking delicious. Here we go. Right on there. And we'll start 1 minute. Throw the lid on there. And there's some flames going, so we'll get a nice crust for sure. Gonna try not to burn it, so I won't leave it on there for too long. Give it a good half minute, 45 seconds, and then we'll flip it. Alright, 30 to 45 seconds. We're gonna grab it, flip it. Look at that. 30, 45 seconds, that's all you need. Look how beautiful that thing is. Man, oh man. Just gonna sit here and wait. Getting that beautiful char on there. And another 10, 15 seconds. Now this is Kingsford cherry briquettes with cherry wood splits. SPG. Reverse sear to 125. Pull it off. Sear it, 1 minute per side. We'll go a little longer there. Maybe not right on top of the flames. And you can do this if you got a heat glove on. Don't do this without one of these heat gloves, and this nitrile will melt, so don't hold it over the heat for too long. That's looking good enough for me. We're going to get this inside. We're just going to tent it with foil, let it cool down, and then we'll slice into it. I know I said I was going to bring this inside to cool it down, but we're just going to do this out here. It's a nice, hot, beautiful August day. We're just going. Slap it on over here on the cutting board. That thing smells and looks delicious, guys. Look at that. Beautiful grill marks. I can feel that is like a perfect medium rare. So we're just gonna tent it with some foil, maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, slice into it, and I will show you the gloriousness that is tri-tip. You can see the grain here too. So we're gonna be cutting it. See the grain. So the grain runs this way and kind of lengthens out along the top here. So we're just gonna go chop, 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 all the way down right across the grain. It's gonna be beautiful. Hang on tight, we'll be right back. Alright guys, rested, and I am ready. So the grains are running this way. So we're gonna go ahead and just kind of cut it right down the middle and see what we're dealing with here in the middle. Man, juicy, tender. It's a little less pink than I thought it was gonna be, but that just, look, I mean, we got a nice little smoke ring going on here. Super juicy, smells good, super tender. I can't wait to try this. So get a little slice going right here. Just kind of, oh man. Delicious. Let's see how it is. Tri-tip, reverse seared, 125 on the sear. Bring it up to, I don't know, this is probably 130, 135. I didn't probe it, but it's tender. Got a little smoke ring. Smoky. Smells great. Oh my goodness. The marbling in this thing was incredible to begin with, and you can definitely tell that helped with our tenderness. It just smoky. Cherry wood was a great idea for this. SPG. Oh my. If you guys don't try this, you're doing yourselves a disservice. This is freaking delicious. Super quick, super easy. Reverse shear, SPG. That's all you need. Thank you guys for watching. I'll try to post more, but no promises. Like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one. Take it easy. Almost forgot to mention, Butcher on the Block, my new favorite place. They got great cuts, great selection. The staff is friendly, knowledgeable, and they have, you know, they've got a whole deli in there. They've got a butcher in there. I think the guy I talked to, his name was Steve. What up, Steve? This is where I got the tri-tips from. Super great place. It's really cool. I think I'm going to go there a lot more often. You can find them on Instagram at Butcher on the Block. I'm sure they've got Facebook and whatever else. But yeah, not sponsored video by them or anything. I just thought it was a cool spot. They have tri-tips like no one else does around me. I saw some picanhas in there that no one else has around me. Some hanger steaks that no one else has around me. So it's a cool spot. Check them out.